Okay, so as best as I read is that I just have to keep on fiddling with the mirrors until their doors open. And pretty much each time I'm gonna have to face one of these gals, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Which kind of sucks. I mean, at the same time, it doesn't, because they actually give pretty good amount of Palmyra pieces. You know, if you can pick them up. There we go. So, just gonna turn this again, I think. I don't know how many times I actually have to turn it, I just know that I have to turn it. Oh, that healed her, right. I think it might just be, you know, dependent on things, like which particular direction the mirrors are facing. There we go. What's kind of cool is that each time you kill them, they give a life extract. Okay. This opened up that door, which is a lift. Gonna have to kill you again. Shit, my armor's almost busted. No, there it goes. And that's apparently what happens when you break your armor. It becomes unable to be used, I guess? I mean, I'm only guessing here. So if I use this, I should be able to... I can't fix my armor of frost. Right, that's what that does. Fully restores Palmyra power of the selected armament. So I should have used that earlier. Do I have anything better? See how she feels about the tear blade. She feels fairly strongly against it. Cool. Alright, so this should open up the red... No, the white door. Okay, so now I still... No, I opened up the white door. Already, previously, in another episode. Don't remember which one. Don't ask me which one, because I really don't remember. Do I have a combo I can use with this? No? Guard break's the only thing. Bet this music is driving you guys crazy. Guess what? I'm the one playing the damn game. Hell, you could just turn off my voice. Turn off all the audio on this thing. That'd be kind of mean of you. Alright, so now I have to find... It wasn't the black door, was it? I think it was the black door. I don't even know anymore. Wonder how I do against these guys with this particular weapon. Well, it looks pissed. Ow. Ow! Yeah, that will send you careening off the edge. Now, since the ice armor is broken, I'm gonna go ahead and put the polio armor. Because A, it makes me look badass. And B, it'll stop some of this damage. Hi. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I can't guard break. Not with that kind of range, I can't. Ugh. Brick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. Alright, now I just need to remember where the hell that door was. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can't quickly pull up something to help me out here, because I'm still at a loss. Yeah, I guess I'm as close as I can be. I just I can't find any actual maps of this damned place, which is strange, because you would think that one of the first things that people would so generously put on the internet would be maps of one of the more pain in the ass. Is it that a door closes? Or something? I don't even remember which chamber I'm trying to get into anymore. And I think I'm thinking that the purple door, or the doors, can only be opened one at a time. So green pedestal, which is clearly a mirror. Wait. Rotate. Alright. So that's open now. So I need to go. Oh. Hiya. Hi. Hi. Whoop. Missed. Okay. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, if I really wanted to, I could probably farm for Palmyra armament, or
Palmyra pieces. While I'm here. I know there was actually a second mushroom, I think, in that area full of those nests. I really should have gotten those. Oh, that mushroom. I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. Alright.
Over that. Here. Royal boots. Cool. Oh man, these are some bitchin' boots. Oh man, now I look like a real badass. Damn. But yeah, I guess to continue a little bit on a there was a tangent somewhere in there. But very first episode I'd said that, you know, Darius, this character Darius, is where I had taken the name Darius. Despite the fact that I have not beaten this game. Simply because, you know, it's a cool sounding name. And it was. So much so that I had actually used it combined with the male character from a series called Birdie the Mighty. Okay, that's that one. And I don't need to open that one. Or do I? I need to find out where the elevator was. Who's... oh, sorry. Off of one tangent onto another. So there was a character in a anime series back from like the original Birdie the Mighty, not the new one that I think is out, called Stomu. So I had taken Darius and combined it with Stomu, and that was pretty much my very first D&D character, which was actually a barbarian gnome. That's the save point. Wait, should I repair my shit? I'll repair my shit. And save. So I'm not sure where the hell I need to go anymore. But yeah, that was my very first character, was taking the two names off of this guy and one from an anime that I wasn't an anime, I think it was just the movie one. Like, I think there was a movie that I had watched. This one? Because I remember trying to look for other episodes of Birdie the Mighty, and I could not find it. This one? Yeah, that was expensive. This one? And, you know, it was a funny series. It was cool, I guess. This one? And... I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I sold the Draglow's nest. Don't want to bother with that. Okay. Oh. Nearly forgot to repair my accessories. Not buying, although I could buy the star necklace. This one? Drains enemy HP and grants it to the user. Neat. Yeah, why not? Alright. This one? Yeah. This one? And strangely enough, I just made him a barbarian gnome because I wanted to make something that was kind of interesting. This something that, you know, it was my first time playing D&D. I mean, I wanted to make something that was interesting. You know, something other than just a human fighter. And that's where my very first D&D character came from. It was a combination of this guy's name and another character from an anime I've seen when I was really, really young. And I think we had actually gotten that particular series of characters, as it were, to around level 23 before we stopped, you know, really playing D&D in that group. I mean, everyone had pretty much gone their separate ways, or work was a pain in the ass, because, you know, social gatherings are a lot harder to do when you have to try to get everyone's time schedule to work. And when we had started, I was just coming out of high school, I think. So every other weekend, or hell, every week, I would spend practically 3 to 4 days with the guys, doing nothing but playing D&D and video games with them. It was a good time. It was a really good time. Oh, right. That's the red chamber. What's funny though is that near the end of the campaign, things have gotten pretty damn ridiculous. Like, my friend Jim's character had lost, I think, one of his arms to a vampire around 15th level or so, maybe 16th. So being an elvish archer was a little bit harder to do. But little did we know though, we actually had a method of well, he pretty much became... Oh man, our characters were just funky. Because by the end, he had started off his character with inspirations from Legend of Zelda's Link. You know, elvish archer dude with a little bit of sword skills, woo. Then, around the time that we were 15th level, we were big into Full Metal Alchemist. So he was like, hey, DM, could I have a metal arm? And the DM was like, I'll work it in somehow. And yeah, vampire chopped off his arm. Couple of months of in-game time later, he got it replaced with a mechanical one. It's a pretty badass idea, really. It actually improved what he could do as an archer, because then he could pull back stronger bows, which of course, god damn it, which of course did more damage, and all that fun stuff. My character got insane around 18th level, which kind of a weird progression of things. Like, as a barbarian, I had a lower charisma, but I still wanted to do some, you know, basic buffing spells like bull strength and maybe possibly cure myself every now and then. So I took a couple of levels of sorcerer. The sorcerer barbarian gnome. I did this, it was 3.5 days, so it was a little hard to swallow. But anyways. So yeah, gnome, sorcerer, barbarian. The strange part about it was that, you know, I wanted to change from being a sorcerer to straight up barbarian because, you know, it really wasn't working out. I hardly cast the spells. Ow. So it was a little bit, you know, just tedious being there and having less HP and less attack bonus. So, in a weird progression of things, which I don't think should have worked in the first place. And we didn't have the rule book to allow us to change classes at the time, so pretty much our DM just said, you know what? You take a brick to your head several times and forget all your spells. Yeah, it was a pretty out there campaign. But I think it was sometime later in the future that my character suddenly decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to use this scroll. I don't even remember what it was a scroll for. I think it was a fireball scroll. And I had fumbled rolling a rolling a spellcraft check because I didn't have any ranks in spellcraft anymore. So I rolled a 1, and our DM at the time, he loved using his like actual D20 or D100, which essentially just looks like a plastic golf ball with numbers all over it. And he had rolled a 1 on that one. Or was it a 1? Nah, I think it was a 100. Well, it was up there, and he likes to do, okay, 1 is a really bad result, and 100 is a fairly good result. Might even be more beneficial than if you had just, you know, done the actual spell that you wanted to. So, if I remember, he had rolled fairly high in it. And essentially, it was a permanent enlarged person spell that ended up getting cast instead of a fireball. Don't ask me how the hell that happens. Is this the one that I wanted? No, it wasn't. Shit. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just rambling on while it's, you know, incidentally getting more Palmyra pieces. But yeah, that was a thing that happened. And there was another weird thing. Well as I was a sorcerer, Darius also had a familiar, which it was a pretty kick-ass familiar. And the DM was like, you know what? You go ahead and keep your familiar. My familiar was a squirrel that I had used to perform shocking grasp on foes that were, you know, a little out of my reach or whatnot. And DM kind of liked this idea, so, you know, after a while he had said, you know what? Your familiar comes back. And I was like, what? Yeah, you're familiar. Remember Chiku, the little electric squirrel? Which I pretty much made him into freaking Pikachu. So, yeah, it was weird. But it was a fun game. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I want to say that there's a freaking another chamber that I have to use an elevator in thanks to these royal beats. Or maybe I just have to open one of the doors now. Oh god, there was no progress in this video. Except getting these boots. Alright, I'm gonna cut the video here. I'll see you guys in the next one where hopefully I will have discovered which way I actually need to go. Take care. Cheers.